All right, weekend sports betting tips on the Barroom Network. Got my guys here, Anthony, PowdedSports.com, Mr. Sean Higgs from Winning Picks and Picks and Parlays. Winning Free Picks, right?
Winning Free Picks.
Free Picks.
Yes.
Red Hot Sean Higgs. It's like free picks or what, like 30-4 or something?
30-7 runs since February
30-7.
30-7. And they're out. They're posted sometimes the night before from late night money, or they're not. Hey, after the fact, I come in like, oh yeah, by the way, no, they're out there, hours and hours at a time. Like today, we had a couple of winners already. We have Hampton +4 was a winner. Someone was like, oh, Hampton, they're the worst team. Okay, they went outright today. By the way,
it's tournament.
High Point 11 -11, never in doubt. Another reason. And I got who else? Bowling Green's going right now. I think they're up 6 at the half. They were up, I believe, or something like that. Actually,
they're up 7 right now. Yeah,
up 7.
That's your team, Bowling Green.
So I got them, and I got VCU +8.
What'd I tell you? Eastern Michigan, Central Michigan, Anthony +10.5. Eastern Michigan playing better. Central Michigan, not a team that blows teams out, man. 10.
That line was 10.5. It came down to 7. I'm like, what is that? Somebody brought that up last night. I'm like, I'm taking. I would have loved a 10. It was down to 7 already. I'm like, how is that a 10?
I took it at 10.5 this morning. I talked to Anthony about it. I was like, man, I like this play. It's, they're up. They're up 1.
I don't care how bad a team is on the road, and I think I've told you guys before. Like years ago, there was a good Kempom kind of system where teams that are in is like 180 range and above, playing in conference, laying 7.5 to like 12 points, just blindly take dogs like when they're badly ranked in the tail end, and it was like a 60-something% winner. Now it's not as good. You got to kind of move the numbers a little bit, but again, who's Central Michigan laying 10? Just take.
That's what I said. They don't beat. They look back at their games. It's like
take 10,
a 2-point game, a 4-point game, a 6-point game, maybe a 7 or 8-point game.
Yeah, they don't blow
like. Yeah, their games are all close with Central Michigan, and then Eastern Michigan's last game they rolled in and beat. They beat Toledo or Akron outright. Akron. They beat Akron.
That was your -20.5 money line loser.
You had Akron money line
in a.
-20.5
in a couch change, like
-5,000
12-team parlay.
Oh my goodness!
He was going to gain an extra 50 cents on his parlay.
I like playing a $5 lottery ticket during college basketball season.
No, that's fine. I'm just teasing you on the -5,000.
But when you go 19-1,
it was like
-19-1 and lose money. That's painful to me.
Oh yeah, and I have done that a few times. 19-1. Your guy, player prop king, is here, Sean.
I see him.
The man, he's the man. All right.
He commented after the fact he didn't make the live show today.
It's allergy season already in Florida.
Oh my God! I look like I'm stoned.
In a game that's just tipping off right now, Sean and I are on the over Kent State Toledo. Toledo doesn't play a lot of defense, Sean. Any thoughts on any of these late night games? There's some good games tonight. Boise State, San Diego State. I like Boise, but man, I on the road, it's going to be a battle. I kind of like to take the dog.
This line, I got San Diego State at 6.5. It was up at 8.5, which is 8. Give me Boise State. I mean, I'm not laying, and I said this last week. I think these lines, some of them, Mountain West and the unranked ranked kind of matchups we were having, I think they were off by at least 2 points. I think people are so, I mean, not blindly. I guess they're talked about so much where, it's a revenge game because San Diego State goes on the road and loses by 14 or 16 to some team in the Mountain West, and then it's time to play on their home court, and they repay the favor. So I think these lines are a little too much. Listen, 6, sure, I'll go home team. 8.5, I got to take the dog.
Yeah, what's the line sitting at now? 8.5.
Hold on.
Would it come back down to 7.5?
I'm showing right now on multiple sites. It's actually 7. Now it's at 6.5. Now I see 7s and I see some 6.5. So it's back to its original number. So it opened at that. It was there briefly up into the 8 range for whatever reason.
A lot of
now
San
back
Diego
down to
State
where it
money.
should be.
Then the Boise State money came in.
Yeah, why wouldn't it be? You're getting 2 extra points.
Yep. Let's see. Later on, Loyola Marymount, Portland. Sean will have a free play.
Yeah, I'll tell you the rest of my card today here. I have Tulane minus 2.5, which is now up to a 4. But again, I bet this that not today. I didn't bet it. It was last night. I bet it before I did look at lines.
Wichita State has been hot.
I did like San Diego today, plus 3.5. It was 1.5 versus Pepperdine. Everyone's going to Pepperdine. You're up 52-9 or whatever. It's like, oh, look at this. You're beating a. So I think the line's a little too much here.
San Diego's a good team, man.
They're not exact. Here's why I couldn't pull the trigger on it. I wanted to based on Pepperdine's big win, but Pepperdine still would have been a 1-point fave anyway. And anytime I get the lower seeded team favored, I kind of automatically, especially tournament time, I'm going to go and bet that higher seed, the lower seeded team over the higher seeded team.
Yeah,
I did it with Lehigh the other day, 4 points on the road.
Yep,
took care of business as a 6 seed, beating a 3 seed, a true road game. Here it's a neutral. 3.5. I don't know. I want to take San Diego. I just couldn't. I couldn't do it.
Last night, at the end, I was like, I really want to take Arizona minus 9.5, and I was like, oh, you know what? Just sit back on my wins last night, and I didn't do it, and it was a, not a pretty easy winner for the Wildcats, but Wildcats tomorrow facing USC though, Sean.
I like the over in this game. USC's playing a little better. Do I want to lay 8 with Arizona?
Mm-hmm.
I would lean to the over in this one. That was my initial thought when I was writing down all the lines to the games today. Give me the over. So, I mean, again, the last 2 games, Southern Cal's turned on 80 points against Washington and Arizona State. And we've seen Arizona give up some points sometimes.
Yeah, it looks like they're starting to round into shape. Maybe just before the tournament, they had a rough patch where they lost to Arizona State outright.
But I mean, look at their last 10 games. I mean, they had a loss of Washington, who's pretty good. Washington State.
Yeah, Washington State team. Yep.
But look at these other scores: 91-65, 82-71, 105-99, 99, 105-60, 91-75, 85-67. I mean, they're winning by 20 points a game. 88-65 last game. Yep. 103. 20 a game, they're crushing teams. I got to go over.
Yep. And
it's a big number. You're up to 160. I mean, they put up 85 and it's 85-70. You're not a winner here.
Right.
That's a big nut you get up in this range.
I might take a look at the Arizona team total tomorrow.
Yeah.
On that one versus USC. I think that might be a good play. Speaking of big
safer
totals, we got a large total tomorrow.
175.
I figured it would be like that. 170, 175. I figured.
Arkansas at Alabama.
I still like it. Call me crazy. I still like the over here.
Arkansas's lost 2 of their last 3, including a home loss to Vanderbilt. And Alabama, Alabama seems a little scuffing. They've lost 3 of their last 4.
Yep.
At Florida, the home versus Tennessee, where Tennessee just played a little tougher on defense. Ole Miss, they put up 100 on Ole Miss in Ole Miss, and lost at Kentucky where they gave up 117 points.
And that was even close. Like it was 117-95. It looks like it's a. Yeah. I mean, Kentucky ran them out of the building. Yeah. I'm going to have to say, even at once, I could see this going over because 90-80 is going to get there. And I think Alabama last game at home, the last time they were at home, they lost. So you want to put on a good show for your fans. You got 500 teams coming to town. That's giving up 83, 111, 85 the last 3 games. Yeah, I'll go over this because they're going to Bama will score 100 here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm looking at the team total on this one too. Arkansas not great on defense, man. So here's a couple
18.5 point spread. Holy crap! I just saw that.
Yeah, a couple trends, and I still like Alabama. I mean, I've watched.
It's gonna be 105 to 80.
Yeah, Arkansas has hit the game total over 24 of the last 35. Alabama 23 of the last 36 overs. So I don't know if they've been as high as 175 points, but
they did.
I could see this being,
Kentucky game was higher.
Yeah,
I mean,
Alabama in the 90s and Arkansas in the 80s. And you're right there at
Bama's breaking 100. Mark my word, they're breaking 100. Take the Bama team total over.
I'm looking at Alabama team total over. Yeah. As far as the side, man, I gotta take. I don't think Arkansas. I mean,
I can't.
15.5 is a lot, but I would not be on this. Alabama or nothing for me.
I mean, you see, when you see a total of 175 and a team's gonna score 100, you think I could be in this because I could score 80. Mm-hmm. But are you going to hold them to under 100? You're getting 15 with a defense that gives up 90 points a game. That's crazy sad.
Coastal Carolina.
Yeah, 7-7. He loves Coastal.
I asked Anthony about college baseball. He's like, fuck no. The other day when I said, hey, Anthony, you want to take a look at some college baseball with me? He's like, no.
I haven't even used a spring training game in Midday Money this year yet.
Yeah, Anthony was doing good in
I'm still undefeated.
Undefeated
in 3-0-1 in spring training.
Major League Baseball spring training games, man.
You gotta pick your spots.
Player prop, a good pick with Cleveland State, man. I didn't play that one. I like the other side. That was good. And then he had Iona -7. Iona's playing tomorrow versus Siena.
Yeah. 7. They're giving 17, I thought.
Yeah, it's
14 points. It's 14 points.
Oof.
Yeah, 14.5.
Too many for me.
He's talking about yesterday. He had Iona.
He had Iona yesterday, and I forget who they were playing yesterday. Was it St. Peter's?
Where did Ant go?
I can't. He's got the allergies going. He went off.
I want to show him this stack.
Oh, as soon as he
Where's
comes
he
back.
Pop back in here.
He went off camera.
He's off camera. I don't know if he's watching.
Where are you at on Alabama? Just the over and team total over for Alabama.
My allergies.
Did you like this?
Yeah. You see a stack?
From what?
These are all Wanders.
Oh, I got my stack is just as big or bigger.
What's like? Is that the guy who had the little underage?
Yeah. No, these are like parallel ones or something. It would have been.
Oh,
yeah, player prop key. Yeah, it was Manhattan. Iona Manhattan yesterday. Manhattan got blown out in that game, I think.
Did it go over?
No, it stayed under. I mean, you and I talked about the over.
Yeah, that was a good thing.
Nope.
Forget about overs in that conference.
All right, so Anthony, I say check the team total over for Alabama tomorrow. Sean,
I would say to me, it's you either pick the side or the total.
Yeah,
I just can't take both.
Nope,
because it could be easily 105 to 92.
Like Sean says, Alabama's scuffling a little bit. Want to put on a show for the home crowd.
Yes.
Arkansas is probably a good whipping boy for them to take it out on.
If you haven't seen Bama play at home, make sure you watch this game because they are fun to watch.
Yep. Let's see.
They can score.
Number 14, Kansas at number 1 team in the country, Houston. Kansas beat them last time, Sean, in Lawrence at Fog Island. Houston has just been won 9 of their last 10. They've been dominant. They're winning by double digits.
Am I the only one that's not really convinced on Houston?
You need to watch a few more games, but you and I have talked about it. We're like, man, I don't trust their offense.
I don't trust it, man. I just don't trust them.
But they've been putting points up, man.
I was doing this with Ross yesterday. One of them had it, and I'm like, you trust the offense, and 2 of their last 3 wins, identical 67 to 59 scores.
See, that's the type of games that throw me off. It's like, dude. I mean, they could definitely win those low-scoring games. And that's great.
They're a tough. Listen, they're a 1 seed. It doesn't make a difference what really happens here.
I agree.
Do I want to lay a 8? I'd probably even the under. I would probably say over here because I could see this being like a 70-65 and kind of getting over that number here. Somebody's going to score. I don't think it's going to be a 73-60 kind of game. I think we're going to get more higher 70s. I think Kansas being written off is not a good look. Like everybody kind of wrote to, they lost 2 in a row. I mean, how often do you see them 22-8? Usually they're 27-4.
Hold on, stop right there.
It does not feel right.
Losing is because they've had missing players. And that's the people don't see the why. Oh, why? Maybe ask yourself, why is Kansas losing? Kansas is too good to be losing that. They're a great team. When they're fully healthy, they're just as good as anybody in the comp.
Yeah, but Kevin McCullers questionable tomorrow with the knee. He hasn't played in a while. But Houston, against they play Cincinnati last game, Sean?
Kansas played Baylor last Saturday.
Houston played Cincinnati, I think.
Last game. Something like that,
Joseph Tugler was lost for the season. He's a guy that comes off the bench, about 4 points, 4 rebounds a game, 6'7" forward.
I would lean the under this one. Because even with that Baylor, Kansas, and they were just going basket for basket in the second half, it barely went over. So Houston, a team that likes to slow the pace down, and Kansas with a missing player, I'm going to take the under.
You got opposite.
It's a guy who scores 20 points a game.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Yep. If he doesn't play. Kansas has hit the game total over in 5 of their last 7 away games. That's the thing. But
they went over last week because
Houston has hit the under in 14 of the last 24 home games. So 14 and 10 of the last 24 at home.
I consider the home court. I mean, you got to think to yourself, who's going to take charge of the pace?
I'm thinking
Houston at home,
Looking now at this matchup, I'm going to say probably an under because Kansas has lost 6 games on the road this year.
Yep.
And again, 84-74 is an over, 67-57, 79-50, 70-75. And that game went to overtime. They should have won. Kansas had that game locked up. And that still would barely go over at this number at 136. I mean, he needed overtime to reach this number. Probably an under looking at this the way they've been playing. Against Iowa State, 79-75, but Iowa State pushes it.
Yep.
You gave up 91 and lost at West Virginia. Holy cow.
To who, Kansas?
Kansas lost to them, 91-85.
That was a while ago, wasn't it?
I'm just saying. I'm bringing up some of the scores. They lost at UCF, 65-60. I mean, they have trouble putting the basket in the basket sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
Now you're going to do it against Houston at home?
Houston's really physical, and that's something that Kansas is not used to seeing because every time Kansas plays a team, they just play a team that likes to shoot and just run the ball. As in Houston, to slow the pace down, they're very physical inside, and that's Kansas not used to.
They're going to throw enough bigs at Hunter Dickinson. They might not have the height of Kansas, but
they got enough.
They got enough athletic
speed,
length.
Here are the scores. This is what they've allowed at home in their last home wins. 59. This is allowing 59, 65, 61, 63, 52, 42, 54, 55, 42, 37, 39, 44. 48, 50, and 31. Now, we'll throw the 84-31 win over UL Monroe. It doesn't make a difference because then they're only going to give up 50-54 to Texas Tech. I mean, come on. This has a Kentucky getting into the 60s, maybe. Probably in the 60s. They'll get into the 70s. Yeah. It's going to go under. Yep. It'll go under. Yep. I've talked myself into the under.
I want to talk to you about the side on this game because it's sitting at 8.5 right now, which I think is a fair number. And for me, it would be Houston minus the points or nothing, especially given the McCullers injury situation. But do you expect the number to be around game time 9.5, maybe 10, Sean?
I think people will take Kansas in the points here.
Yeah.
It's like the Kentucky game. People are going to, like Tennessee, it's 9, you got to, 8.5, I'm going to take the points. Like, it would just be just name brand. I don't care how good it is. It's just too many points to give to a team Where
like
again,
Kansas.
Houston's locked into their spot.
Yep.
I don't think it goes lower than 8. I think it stops at 8.
I mean, I'm just saying it'll come down.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
People are gonna buy it. It might go to 7.5 because they keep hammering it and they want to get off off that number.
Yep.
But Houston could still win this game by 7 or 8 and not cover and control the game and be up 10 the entire game. It's not close.
Little backdoor might be open there too.
Yeah.
So the under's the play.
I like the under.
I think it's a great play too. It's still sitting. You can get 136.5 still.
Hold on. What time is this game?
2:30, I think, tomorrow. Central, 2:30 Central, or is it 4:00 Central? Let me see. Hold on.
VCU is going to beat Dayton.
4:00 Eastern, so 3 Central.
It is.
What's the score now? VCU Dayton.
52-43.
We got 162 people watching live. Send us your questions.
162 people. Awesome. Good job.
163 now. Hit the like button. We love talking.
137 is the total. 8 and 137.
137. All right. See, I put up 136. I'll take a 137. Next game, Kentucky at Tennessee. Kentucky in a revenge spot. Tennessee went in and beat them. Let's see, what was the score of that game, Sean?
I was like 102 to 91, something like that.
Yeah, 103.92. Yeah, 103.92. Over sitting at 164.5 before the show. Sean likes the over in this game. Anthony, over?
I love the over.
As
soon as I heard the two teams,
I
heard the number, I was like, oh, it's like music to my ears.
Both of these teams are up tempo. Tennessee in the past has been more of a slow team, all about
Kentucky,
defense.
man.
Not
I'm
this
telling
year.
you.
2 guards on Tennessee.
Kentucky forces.
They just want to run. They don't play defense.
Yeah.
They have.
Oh yeah. See, it's going to be they're either going to be down or tied at halftime, and then they're going to make a run in the second half. And that's what they've been doing every game.
4 straight overs for Kentucky.
Yeah.
Tennessee
they score within 5 seconds of having the
Tennessee
ball.
has been 5 of the last 7, 5 of the last 8 unders.
And this looks like
high.
I want to. Is this? Hold on a second. Let me see what this is right now. What this number is.
Like Kentucky's going to run.
Good 4:00 games. Kentucky, Tennessee, Kansas, Houston. So this is a 166 right now. 166.5 too.
So 164 was when I loaded up the banner.
Man.
Everybody's jumping on.
I still like the over.
But see, this is another spot here. Just we talked about Houston. It's a big spread versus a team. Tennessee, I'm pretty sure, has got the conference locked in regardless of the outcome of this game, even though if they lose, they'll be tied with South Carolina or whatever. But I think they still win a tiebreaker over or whatever. Are they? I don't think they want to lose. I don't think any team wants to lose its final game of the regular season at home, right?
Yeah.
But, two things happen when you take the dog. They could cover and they could just win outright here. And you're getting 8.5 points with I think Kentucky's a top 10, top 15 team. I mean, the defense 100%. Is a little questionable. It's
oh yeah, defense for sure.
But I don't see them playing some kind of. I mean, is this game 74-75, 75-74 like the LSU game?
I think Tennessee beats them.
Kentucky
just doesn't have the defense.
I like the Kentucky in the points, but I'm not really sold on this over. As much as you get the Kentucky numbers, Tennessee could be like, all right, well, we're just going to kind of slow down and play our game here. I mean, you need 170. You need 85 each.
Yep.
I mean, 85-80, you don't win.
Yep.
And you look at some of these scores for them. I mean, South Carolina's defensive team, 66-59, 81-74. I don't think that gets you there. That's against Alabama with a total of 175.
Yep.
92-84 got there. That would have been a winner. 86-51, no. 88-53. I mean, 92-63. That's not good enough. I don't know. I'm a little torn on that total, to be honest with you.
176 people now watching live. Thanks again for joining us.
Who's that? Everybody watching on the X? Where are they watching?
Watching X. Could be. I got X, Facebook, and YouTube.
All right.
So send us your questions.
I get like 3 people on Facebook watching me when I put out the money show on Facebook page.
I gotta take I got to take Kentucky plus the points. I think Kentucky.
Yeah, I think
within
Tennessee
9.
wins it though. I really do like Tennessee to win.
In a revenge spot, I think Kentucky keeps it close.
If you're taking Kentucky, you take Kansas and think I'm taking two good teams getting a ton of points.
Yep.
There's really you can't just say I like this one and not the other one. You're either all in on the dogs or you like the fades because you think they're begging you to take the dogs.
But the difference with Kansas is they're missing their best player. So it's not really the Kansas.
They're missing their point. They're missing their.
So it's not really the same Kansas team that hey, it's Kansas. No, it's not the Kansas team.
Yeah, but people don't look at it that way. It's Kansas.
I know.
You tell me Kansas, and I'm like, is everybody?
If Kansas
healthy?
money comes in,
it's not Kansas.
I get Houston -7. I'm jumping
like
on that.
Kansas
6.5, 7.
It's like a partial.
This will start moving in a couple hours. People are concentrating. Everybody right now is live betting the tournament games or whatever.
Yep.
You'll kind of get a feel for this game in a couple hours, and more lines start coming up, and open up the limits.
Let me throw some trends at you. Tennessee has covered the spread 12 of the last 20 at home. And on the road, Kentucky's hit the game total over 24 of the last 33. 24-9 to the over on the last 33 games. And then for talking Tennessee, money line 22 of their last 30. And Kentucky first half money line 23 of the last 33. But Tennessee, the game total under in 12 of their last 20 games at home. So Sean likes the under, and he likes Kentucky plus 8.5.
Yeah.
Anthony?
I'm still going to ride the over, but I don't have much of opinion on the side because I can easily see Tennessee cover it, win by 10. Yeah. But I can also see Kentucky, Tennessee going toe-to-toe, basket to basket the last 5 minutes of the game. So I'm just going to say there's going to be points.
Listen, everybody's going to want to bet the marquee names.
Yeah.
So these lines are going to be exactly where they're supposed to be. So, like Ant just said, I'm not. He likes it. Doesn't mean you got to bet it.
Yeah.
Am I going to bet this game? I haven't bet it. I bet 4 games tomorrow. This isn't one of them.
166. I'm not playing the over. As much as I like the over, I'm not playing it.
You'll find better value in the tournaments.
165.
Oh yeah. Yep.
You'll find better value in off conferences. Head on over to the Big West.
That's the thing about college basketball. There's so many games. Why just focus on one game that's more of a coin toss?
Yep.
And it's funny because it's a 9-point spread. It's a coin toss. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. But it's true.
It is because just who is playing.
Yeah.
Top 25. These schools, the books, everybody knows it's who it is. Just like our next game, Duke NC. It'll be the same kind of thing. Like you want to run. These games are going to be the crispest, sharpest lines, NFL-esque.
Yeah.
Yep. Player Prop Cream says we should be doing the show daily. Would like to.
Sean does it for us.
I do a daily show.
Sean does it daily.
Sean does it himself. Twice a show. Late night money and midday money.
Twice a day I do it.
Anthony
and I do more than 5 games.
Maybe during the tournament we can, during the big dance, we can lock in a little bit.
Who said VCU was winning? VCU is tied up.
Oh, they just tied it. Well,
man, what was I saying? Maybe we get that plus money at halftime.
What am I good to? What am I good at?
Reverse jinxing a live bet. Reverse jinxing a live bet.
I'm like, Tooch, they're done. 15 minutes left in the game. They're done. Boom. And I'm like, shh.
Man, we could have had another young boys here, Anthony.
Yeah.
Yeah, you two guys are Tooch is definitely the king of mushing stuff live like he did last week.
I know, I did last week.
Mr. Georgia State -3 when they're up 7 the whole game.
I didn't sleep after that. Last Friday, I couldn't fall asleep. I was like, I mushed a couple plays.
Stuff like that.
I was so happy. I was on a little bit of a cold streak.
But Tooch,
I don't even look at the games. I'm not even paying attention. I said I had VCU today. I was telling you who I had on the show today, and then you get into if Dayton's losing, I got to take them like doubling up your bet. That's how you lose more money.
Yep.
I mean, listen, they could still cover this game. I mean, hello, High Point was down 18-4, and Mike F was off his rocker thinking it's a loser.
It was 5 minutes into the game.
I'm like, bro, this is why I don't watch games.
Yep.
I don't even have a TV on in my house watching
the difference between that game
and watching the game.
High Point was a higher, much
it's a
better
home
team.
game for High Point.
And it's a home game. As Dayton, this is more of a rivalry than
I get it, though, but Dayton is a top 25 team. Dayton is the The
Yeah, but
A10
VCU's
champions.
got their fully healthy. They're fully healthy. They got their guys back today.
High Point was down 12 or 14. I was like, let me see what I get High Point at. Live bet, 25% DraftKings.
There we
Throw
go.
it in there. Boom. We got minus 3.5.
That's just the second time we heard it. I'm counting on 2 more times
because
we're done.
Anthony's the king of live bets between he and I. But when I get one, I'm like, woof! I finally got one live.
Tooch is at work, and I'm like,
I might get 2 live
whatever
bets.
you're doing.
Yep.
Stop whatever you're doing. Get on DraftKings and place this
Lazio
bet.
plus 1.5.
You're like, who's at home? I'm like, don't. It doesn't matter. Just place this fucking
red
bet.
card. Red
card.
Duke, North Carolina, man. Duke at home. Head to head February 3rd. These teams met, and it was a 93-84 win for North Carolina. 177 points. You got over under of 149.5 now. I forget what it was, and that was 152.5 at the Tar Heels. Now at Cameron for Duke, it's 149.5. North Carolina, they've won 7 of their last 10, including 5 in a row. And Duke, they've won 8 of their last 10, including 4 of their last 5. Both teams coming in pretty hot. Duke held Virginia to 48 points. I don't know, but the Virginia offense isn't very good. I think we found out. And then versus North Carolina State, they won by 15. North Carolina, they had a rivalry game against North Carolina State. They won that by 9. Notre Dame, they blew out by 33. They played 3 straight home games. Now they go on the road to play Duke. Duke is laying 4.5, and the Tar Heels are getting 4.5. Anthony, what are you thinking? These are 2 top 10 teams,
every
man.
year I take North Carolina, just take North Carolina, because every year they got like a championship caliber team. But this year Duke is finally caught up to North Carolina's caliber, and this is tough, man.
Both teams 24-6, Sean.
I can't go against North Carolina, but if I go against Duke, I know Duke's going to win this game and cover. Honestly, I would just go with the over, because both teams are going to score. They don't play much. I mean, Duke plays more defense than North Carolina, in my opinion.
They have been playing a little bit better defense here. North Carolina hit the game total under 10 of their last 13 on the road, and Duke had hit the under 21 of their last 35 games.
That crowd at Duke, that Camden, it's going to be crazy. And there's going to be points. I'm going to say over in this game.
Yeah. North Carolina, more of an up-paced team, but this year they played matching slower teams, and Duke has the talent to go either way, fast or slow, Sean. 4.5, is that enough for Duke to cover?
Listen, I like North Carolina. I think they're a championship Final Four type team, but I bet Duke today. I got 4 games bet for Duke is one of them. I'll lay the 4.5. Last time they played, you had Duke in a back-to-back road game. They just beat Virginia Tech. I had Virginia Tech that game, thinking Duke's going to be a little maybe uninterested with North Carolina on deck. And you had Carolina coming in that game off of a loss against Georgia Tech. So perfect storm for North Carolina to take care of business. And in this spot, it's a perfect storm for the Blue Devils. Final home game of the year, and you're in a revenge spot versus a bitter, hated rival. Yeah, and
it'll be a great game.
I'm 4.5. I think Duke wins by 10. I don't think this spread comes into play. It'll be just like I had North Carolina over Duke when they played last time, and it's the same thing. I think it'll be the same kind of game, but Duke winning. Duke prevails.
Caleb Foster, rotational guard. He's out for Duke. He's 6.2 points, 2.5 rebounds, and 2 assists. So a fairly significant, moderate role, but does have a role. No injuries to report for North Carolina. Anthony's on North Carolina plus the points. And
just the over. I would just
just like the over.
To be honest, man, both teams are red hot right now.
A lot of points in the last game, man.
This is another coin flip game for me. I think this is the ultimate coin flip game of the day. I don't think it's a easy, North Carolina, easy Duke. I don't think so. I think both teams could win easily in this game. It's just what team is going to score more points. I mean, I hate to say it like that, but that's why I say the over. I think they're both going to be running. They're both going to be scoring.
Duke in a no doubt rout.
Well, get the pen out for that one.
I like Duke in this one, but I mean, I think
Get
the
pen out.
numbers just right.
Duke in a route.
No doubt. It's a no doubt route.
No doubt route.
Doubter. Let's hold on a second. Yeah, Tamara. Get
All
up
right.
here to Friday.
Pen, get the pen.
The pen is out. Yep.
All right. Dayton down by 2 now, 60-58. 7 minutes left. Eastern Michigan beating Central Michigan by 4 right now with 4 minutes to go.
Bowling Green doing.
I picked a dog, Sean. Aren't you proud of me? I had a couple dogs in my card today.
You picked one, but will it win?
Yeah.
Tooch picks. I mean, every time he picks a dog, sometimes without him knowing, I'll play the favorite just because I know how bad his dogs are.
Not recently though, man. I learned a lot from Mr. Sean Higgs. You can't
just like when you send like your plays. Sometimes I don't even want to look at. I know there's going to be 4 favorites and like 3 overs.
and one dog or unders. My totals have been good, man. I'm doing pretty good. I'm like 21-7 my last few cards.
No,
4 cards. Yep.
I'm from like I said on the show. I said on my show. I would just rather just pass on taking some double-digit fave. I'm not even looking at it. It's just not. Can I take that and it'll win? Possibly.
You had High Point today.
Yeah, I did have High Point today.
I know it's double-digit.
There's one thing,
I had NCAA too, and the Hampton.
We had Utah State last night, but the reason we had that was it's San Jose State. They packed it in already. There's Pacific on the bottom, and then it's San Jose State.
Yeah, Pacific
and then it's IUPUI.
Pacific. All they did was show up and was like,
"Oh yeah,
let's just get out of here, man."
Yeah, they passed the ball back to Pepperdine.
They want to say Temple's fixing the game.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, how do you score 9 points? How is that physically possible?
Because they don't care. The
you're
team
down 26-2.
Didn't care.
Listen, you're down 26-2. At that point, Pepperdine is playing like the Harlem Globetrotters, bouncing the ball through guys' legs and doing dunks. Like, you're going to score some garbage points just because it's turned into a playground game.
That's why I kind of like San Diego today, plus 3.5. It was minus 1.5 this morning when I spoke to Tooch, and I was like, how much you want to bet? Just wait. This line's got to go all the way to 3.5, 4.
All that Pepperdine money coming in after they blew out Pacific.
Ooh,
but I mean, I like Pepperdine minus 1.5 yesterday. What was that? Was close.
3.5. And the best part is
versus Pacific.
The best part is in that game, their 2 best players played over 30 minutes. They left their best players in there the whole game.
Oh my gosh, terrible.
For Pacific or for Pepperdine?
Pepperdine.
Why?
That's
Now they're tired out. Give me San Diego.
I'm betting
you had your best player 35 minutes he played.
I'm playing San Diego as soon as I get off this.
38
let's get to the free play so I can bet
17 rebounds.
Real quick.
There's another free play. Play San Diego tonight.
Yep. San Diego State. Boise State at San Diego State. Real quick. Any thoughts?
I'll take San Diego.
San Diego State
it's back down to 6.5. I like San Diego State.
San Diego State.
All right. Free plays. Sean, we'll let you go first. Let me roll the
Mr. Free Play over here.
Mr. Free Play.
Mr. Veason, Mr. Celebrity. What else? I mean, geez, it's going to be like 4 sentences before we can even say Higgs.
He's everywhere.
John the.
All right, free play of the day. Sean's is coming up real quick. You got about 20 minutes to get this one in. It is. Go ahead, Sean. Tennessee
Martin plus the 7.5 and 2-1 by the way on the Veason show. So there you go. Hopefully they invite me back. I had a winner. That's a winner.
And this is what Ohio Valley Conference tournament.
For Moorhead here, yeah.
Yeah, Moorhead, Tennessee Martin. All right.
I like this play. Yeah.
Yeah. So the Tennessee Martin 21-10.
I'm not sold on Moorhead.
Moorhead State has been a little cold lately. I mean, they're a good team too, but you're giving me 7.5 points in the conference tournament.
Moorhead's vulnerable though.
They're
very vulnerable.
They won a close one on their own home court. Moorhead got them on their own, but here we are in a neutral.
Yep. Starting off 7.
And I love taking the doggies on neutral courts.
Both of these teams, as much as I talk about teams losing on the road, big schools, little schools, both of these teams 9-7 on the road.
Yeah.
So think about that. They go on. These are schools that go on and look for paydays on the road.
Yep.
So 9-7. I don't care who you're beating. It is tough to have a winning record on the road.
Yes,
so
it is.
Not only that, but
7.5. I'll take it.
These two teams play each other twice every year.
Yeah.
It's not like they don't know who's on the team.
Yep.
All right. Anthony's free plays fading Campbell with the Monmouth Hawks -4.5 tomorrow.
For tomorrow. Yep.
Yep. I like that play too. Campbell's just been there, fade. Fade. I got Utah State -2.5 at home versus New Mexico. I love this Utah State team. I like New Mexico, but man, sometimes New Mexico just frustrates the hell out of me with some of their stud players. But
can't go wrong with Utah State.
Utah State at home is tough, man. It's one of the toughest places to play. I'm only laying. I'm laying a bucket.
I'll tell you what. New Mexico needs something. They need some wins.
They're on the bubble, right?
Yeah, they're. You look at a team with 20-something wins, but
is Utah State automatically in? You think? I don't know. I think they might need the game.
I think Utah State's in. They got 25 wins, and they're probably going to pick up another at least one in there. You're 26-5. You should get in.
Yep, you should.
And I said the other day, New Mexico needed a big 20-point win. They got it. They had to destroy whoever they played, Fresno.
Yep.
But this one, I think to help them, and this helps out the entire Mountain West for teams to get in there, because I think these guys. There could be 6 teams in here between Utah State, New Mexico, Boise,
Nevada,
San Diego State, Colorado State. You got a bunch of UNLVs streaking. Think about UNLVs won like 10 in a row, and they might not get in the big dance.
Yeah, they're playing tomorrow. Who are they playing tomorrow? I forget. Tomorrow, March 9th. We got a dog of the day too. Coming up, dog of the day. Not everybody likes it though. It's Kentucky +8.5.
No, yeah.
You can't go wrong with that, though.
Okay.
You can't go wrong with it.
For
Kentucky, the way they're playing, you're going to get all those points.
Yep.
They're definitely the dog of the day. You're going to take all those points?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, like I said earlier, this game is either Tennessee wins this by 10, or it's going to go basket to basket the last 5 minutes of the game, and whoever has last possession wins the game.
Real quick, UNLV at Nevada. UNLV getting 6.5.
Yeah, 6-point dog there.
Yeah,
I have no idea. I got to look at it.
And their lone loss in the last 10 games, 69-66 to Nevada at home. I had UNLV that game. Crazy, bad game. They should have won that game.
Real quick, I was looking at a game. Georgia Tech at Virginia. Georgia Tech getting 8.5. Kind of like Georgia Tech in that one with that Virginia offense struggling. But
oh my goodness,
why do you even look at that game?
I'm looking for.
You love the shit games too.
Kind of like
love the shit.
I kind of like Georgia +15.5 in the jungle.
Of course you do.
Yeah.
And just remember, Georgia Tech's coming off a monster road win already. They just upset Wake Forest as a 14-point dog. So, right. and then you have Virginia at home after getting squashed by 25 or whatever by Duke.
Yep.
So that's a great game.
But something's wrong with Virginia, man. Look at how many points they've scored.
They don't have any shooters. That's
recently.
Why. They're taught to play defense, but not
48. Shoot. Their last 5 games. Look at this: 73-48 loser. Well, let's go back to a 49-47 game versus Wake Forest that they won. Then they lose 75-41, 54-44. I had them in that game against North Carolina. 72-68 win against BC, and then 73-48 Duke ran them out of the building. Now, Georgia Tech's not dropping 73 on these guys because they're not Duke. They're not. How about what's the total? Well, I was going to say you want to go under. I got 122. I'd go under this game because I think whoever scores this game could be in the 90s.
Yep. I agree. Looking at the under in that one. Any quick thoughts? Any game tomorrow?
I couldn't even really see any spreads out yet on my end.
Santa Barbara. Take Santa Barbara.
UC Santa Barbara. And they're
3.5 point faves.
Late game. I saw it in here. They're playing Riverside. Yep. At home
3.5. It'll be 6.
Who's playing Louisiana tomorrow?
Louisiana Lafayette.
Yeah.
Anthony's looking to fade the Raging Cajuns, if I'm not mistaken.
Who's that? Arkansas Appalachian? No.
Oh, Arkansas State.
Arkansas State.
Give me Arkansas State tomorrow.
Why is that?
Wichita State's been good, man.
Yeah, they're on fire right now. And let me tell you, Lafayette, they could not close the door on Coastal, and Coastal played so bad in that game. If you watch that game, I mean, their ball control was so frustrating to watch. It was like, what is this, an 8th grade basketball team? And then Lafayette just kept letting them right back in the game. So the way Arkansas State is playing coming in, watch out, the Red Wolves.
What's the line on Appalachian State, Georgia Southern?
That's another one to watch out. Georgia Southern's playing really good too.
How much Georgia
I didn't
Southern
see a
getting?
line yet, but it's probably going to be about 12.
That's what I would think too. Quinnipiac at St. Peter's.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Quiddy's been our team a lot, but I had St. Peter's the last couple of days.
8-5-1 against the spread on the road. 9-5 straight up.
I'm just waiting for the damn conference tournament in that.
How about Duquesne? Duquesne at home versus GW.
I'm not laying 11.5.
Is that what it is? Yeah, I wouldn't either with Duquesne. I don't have a line on that one.
That's a degenerate game.
Iowa State at Kansas State, kind of like the under 132.5.
5.5 there.
Yeah, well, it's opened at 4.5.
I gotta look at these games. I can't just.
Yeah, Kansas State at home, I think, is worthy of a dog play. They play tough at home.
They do. Yep. Richmond at George Mason. Anthony and I will never bet George Mason. You know, 229 people watching live.
229. They better give him something good.
Yep. I love Richmond this year.
229. That's we're going off the air. We just gave all the picks away.
Anthony, number 24 team in the country, your YMCA kids laying 5.5 at Tulsa. Any thoughts?
USF.
You just blew it. They're going to blow it out. 15 in a row, 21-1. Now this guy wants to jump on him. Now he wants to jump on him.
Outright winner. Mark my word.
Oh my God.
8-1-1 against the spread.
Thank me later. Tulsa, outright winner.
Oh my God.
8-1-1 against the spread their last 10, man. Unreal. All right, fellas. Sean's got
late night money. You want to watch free
up.
picks? If you're watching at midnight tonight, late night money, I will have more free picks. And if you comment, I respond to every single comment.
Yes, he does.
Game, wherever we go, wherever the night takes us.
You want to talk about baseball cards?
I'll bust out some baseball cards, whatever. I'll show you my mayonnaise collection. I got a bucket of stuff from Chick-fil-A and Raising Cane's, whatever. We could.
How many cases of Powerade do you have in your closet?
80. We could go 80s music. No more Powerade. I got to get some Powerade.
No more Powerade.
Listen, I'm buying Powerade when it's 77 cents. I'm stocking up. My boy plays football, my guy. I mean, come on.
I don't care whether
he plays football. I'm buying 60 at a time.
Gatorade. I don't care, man. I'll drink either one.
I told Dan, he's like, "What are you doing?" I said, "Oh man, I'm at Kroger's. What do you get? I put $90 worth of Powerades."
He's like, they're $1 each. I can't pass it up.
Yeah.
My son plays football.
Kids'
friends come over.
That's it. They're like 10 a day are gone when they come over.
Oh, here we go. $30 in
look at I had
200 in baseball cards.
PPK. I had a banner made up here. NBA, NHL futures. I wanted to put MLB futures on there too.
I won't be on that show.
So NBA, plain and simple, it's black and white. It's the Nuggets and the Celtics. NHL, I have no clue.
MLB,
I couldn't tell you. Baseball, we got
2 already.
We got 6 months of baseball. We got plenty of time to talk about baseball futures.
Oh yeah.
Player prop. I did a whole show of baseball futures already. I did a whole show. I went through every game. All my win totals. I bet player props. I bet.
And we still got free agency players ready to still come in.
Yep.
We'll touch on it before the season starts.
Yep.
Still got time.
All right, fellas.
Detroit and Kansas City overs. My favorite. My two
Sean,
favorites.
can you stick around for 1 minute after the show, or both of you guys have some news? Okay. All right. Here we go.
Oh, we've got news. Oh boy.
See you next week.